Good evening. This is Ken from Disruptive Ministries, the Faith Family Initiative. And as promised, I'm doing a series on the different stages of vision. And in this tutorial, what we want to talk about is the idea stage. So the idea stage, let's talk about the idea stage, where this is where you are having an idea, you're brainstorming, you're visualizing things. So you might have an overall theme that's crossing your mind or a vision that you want to accomplish, but most visions start with an idea. You need an idea. You need thoughts generating through your mind. God created us to be thinking beings. God made us in his image, and one thing about God is he thinks. God thinks before he does anything. Listen, example of this: before God made you, he was thinking about what he wanted to do with you before he put you on the earth. The scripture says, "For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to bring you to an expected end." So God has an expected outcome because he already has thought about what he wants to do in your life. He has already pre-planned what he wants to do in your life. He has plans. Before you got here, he actually thought, why am I creating this person? What do I want to do with them? So the first thing to know is, if God is thinking, I need to think about what I want to accomplish. So what does that look like? If you want to set a vision for your family, simply put, start thinking about your family. Visualize the best quality of life for your family. Visualize, what does it look like for your family to be working in harmony, being in sync. What does it look like for your family to have a culture of God in the house, a culture where you all are moving toward the things of God? What does it look like for your business to be being successful? What does running a successful business to you look like? So begin to think. You need to think. You need to ponder. Uh, you need to brainstorm. Because ideas are what bring about vision. So I will give a general story in the Bible. In Genesis 11, uh, there were people who decided to build a tower and a city. In their mind, they said, we're going to build a tower and a city that reaches to heaven. So, but when you look at this story, they began to build a city and a tower. The tower and the building of the city was going so well that God actually came down to see what they were doing, because it was going so well. But what prompted them to build a tower in a city? If you read the scriptures in Genesis chapter 11, it said that they decided to build a tower and a city because they didn't want to be scattered across the face of the earth. They didn't want to be separated. So the thought or idea entered their mind: let's not be scattered. Let's not be scattered abroad. Let's not be spread out. Let's be together. And so they said, well, shoot, let's build a city and a tower, and we'll congregate right in this city, and we'll stay right in the city that we're building, this city and a tower. We'll stay here. So the idea brought across a vision. So they first had to have an idea of why are we doing what we're doing? The why. You need a why. The idea was, so we're not scattered, so let's build a city. Makes sense, right? So with your vision, you need an initial idea. You need to let thoughts run through your mind. If you want to have a vision for your family, let thoughts run through your mind about your family. Start thinking. God made us thinking beings. He made us to think, to think, to think. He thinks. Before God does anything, he thinks. With vision, if we're talking about vision, one thing about me is I'm very strategic about what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. I like to know that the things that I'm doing has God's approval. So I like to pray about what I'm going to do. If I have an idea, I like to pray about it because I want to get God's green light. I want him to be like, go for it. Like David was a great general. He understood about war, but in the end, when his family and his kids got snatched up, and he actually went to God before he went out after the army that snatched his kids. He prayed and said, shall I pursue? So, and God told him, pursue, for you shall surely overtake them. You shall without fail recover all. One thing about me, I would encourage anybody is seek God about what you want to do. Make sure you get a green light from God, because you don't want to start something and then along the way, God is like, that's not really what I want you to be doing. I have this plan for you. And you're so deep in it, now you don't want to turn away from it because you feel like it's really what you should be doing. So the first stage of vision is an idea. You need an idea. You need to let ideas run through your mind. This is the idea stage. Write things down, ideas that are coming to your mind. Because out of ideas come a vision.